Now, I'm sure there are plenty of people around who think that patrician is just taking over and that we'll never see EU4 ever again, but no, we're back with Rostov, trying to create the perfect Hansa with them. I'm not sure if I ever nailed down the idea, but I want to take the patrician for Hansa with Rostov. Seems a nice self-contained challenge for itself. Speaking of contained, Rostov has been under the thumb of Muscovy for way too long, and we're breaking out forcefully through Lithuania, courtesy of our longtime ally, the Ottomans. The Ottomans is a bit of a beast to control. We've had to cede a lot of land just to keep them happy, and essentially give up on our ambitions down here in the Caucasus. Gizzy here is still our subject, although I can't imagine that lasting for too much longer, since they seek the support of both Muscovy and Ryazan. They're also right in the path of the land that Ottomans want, and since our alliance with the Ottomans has been pretty much revolving around me sending them massive barrels of ducats, I don't think that Gizzy are really doing me any favours. I also read a comment somewhere asking why I keep referring to Gizzy. I call these guys Gazi Kumuk Gizzy, because that name is just too much for me to handle. So the situation we left it last time was really horrible on the eyes. I actually hate looking at that. Let's get it off screen. We curb stomped Lithuania with the help of the Ottomans, and I figured, hey, I'll give the Ottomans this land that they want down here. Trouble is, we go to the peace table and we say that the Ottomans just don't want it. That's a problem for us. That's a big problem, because if I take land for me, which I fully intend to, the Ottomans are definitely going to break the alliance because it's going to crush their trust. So, completely abusing my position, I went back to the office and Matrix-style entered the code to find out what was going on. Or rather, I consulted Grugi on the matter. To cut a long story short, they're not going to want any of this land unless they have a connection to it. So, that's a big problem. That is a very big problem. But I did not go through all this trouble, or rather, I did not make the Ottomans go through all this trouble just to come out with nothing. So it's times like this that I really need to return to my roots. Jake, Guns, Drums, and Steel drown out your voice a bit. Well, too bad. That wasn't even Guns, Drums, and Steel. That was Metal Falalalan. Still, though, I hear what you're saying. I can always tone that down. Completely break my train of thought there. There we go. That'll probably do. Alright, let me try and say what I was saying before. It's times like this I need to return to my roots and remember things that I always used to say, such as aggressive expansion and stability. They are only a number. No sense pussyfooting around. The Ottomans need Bastarabia in order to realize their ambition here. So, let's do it. Oh man, why does my finger hesitate here? That's so uncool. Let's do it! There we go. I mean, that's a bit problematic, but it's either that or come away empty-handed, and I am willing to double down here. So go forth, my Otto buddies. We're going for it. Jake, why not go for Crimea instead? The Ottomans were not interested in joining a Crimea war. I had a quick look at the situation, actually, when I was talking to Grugi about it. And he was the one going, So it was kind of a fun discussion. I would have liked to fix it for the hotfix, but that would have been a complete abuse, or rather more of an abuse of the situation. So that ain't happening. But what is happening is my units are probably going to die if they sit around here unfunded, so let's do what we do best and run the heck away. Probably don't need to pay for all these forts either, since I can just hide behind whatever that one is. So, the die is cast. Livonian Order thankfully said nah to all that nonsense. But Ragusa's getting in on it, and so is Austria. The numbers look surprisingly even here. However, they are somewhat distracted with Bohemia, Saxony, Magdeburg, and Pomerania. Let's hope it remains that way. Bohemia really packs a punch, especially on very hard mode. So let's just take it easy. Maybe not enjoy so much war exhaustion and lack of stability. There we go. I mean, monarch points are not that important, right? We have a diplomat nailed to the Ottomans to keep them on our side somewhat, especially when they have France allied. I do not want them turning on me. So, let us pray. It's also a situation where I really haven't kept these forts paid for, because I don't want to pay for them. We'll see if that works for or against me. Funnily enough, the Ottomans got exiled because they got dragged into a war where they had troops outside of where they were meant to be. But here's hoping that they just go and stomp Hungary into jelly, and we can all put this horrible thing behind us. Nothing to do with kicking some Hungarian arse, Jake. We always love kicking some Hungarian arse. This is not a war where I'm going to be taking anything, so I'm hoping that the Ottomans really want Bestarabia. Since I'm not taking anything for myself, it shouldn't actually result in any trust or favour loss. In fact, I'm hoping to gain some favours so I can bump that trust up somewhat. It was a terrible faux pas of me to ally Kazan before. I should have thought that Muscovy was just going to mow them down. And Crimea was also a liability who I should have cut off earlier rather than later. Now, I have really got to pay attention to my aggressive expansion here because I am not planning on going easy on Litauen. Muscovy and Ryazan already hate my guts. Hungary I'll end up with a decent truce with. Well, will it be decent? We can only hope. Circassia hate my guts, and no doubt because I was carving out land around here, so that is going to be a problem. You know, I never stopped to see that the audio and visual were all okay. I'm just trusting that it is. If it isn't, I'm sure you'll keep me right. Hungary just casually talking about their doom stacks that they hold. Then again, the Ottomans are just casually ripping through this land. So keep that up, please. Pretty please. So, Lithuanian noble rebels, that's probably okay as long as Ottomans stay pretty enthusiastic about this war. Our war score is keeping it high, so that's excellent news for us. Hungary will be more mad at the Ottomans anyway, as you won't take their lands, Jake. I don't think the Ottomans even know what aggressive expansion is. Nope, they haven't a Scooby. So this is good. If they punch Ragusa out fast, they can swarm on Hungary, and then we'll get this done and dusted, and we never have to speak of this situation again. Ryazan and Tver, both on my borders, really terrifies me. Especially because they're allied with Muscovy. If Muscovy... Hold on. Okay, yeah, Ryazan, of course. They got Tver under that. Then again, I'm really hoping that Sweden fight Denmark and it becomes a real pistols at dawn situation. Because if I can ever fight Ryazan without Muscovy's meddling, then I will. I will carve them up real good. Jake, rebels taking Lithuanian forts will do wonders for your war score. Well, that's good and bad, I suppose. I really don't want to have to pay for these, though. Guess I will. I mean, that is such a horrible thing to look at. Villainous is most likely the one they're going to go for next. And it has a regular fort anyway. So I've got glorious 10% of the... Wait, really 10? I think that's only because I declared the war itself. It's tempting to stroll down here with my units and start laying siege, but the Austrians and the Hungarians do have a very large army. But this was the only thing I could pull out of nowhere in order to try to swing around the situation with Lithuania. Jake, can you give a brief recap of how you got here? Is this still the first attempt? Yes, it is. You know, why not? Okay, so we started out as Rostov and a whole lot of nothing happened for a long time. We watched our friends get eaten up around us, but then we took support from the Ottomans and, most importantly, Morocco. And there was someone else, wasn't there? I think, did I get the PLC on my side? Yeah, I did. That sounds like me. So, whilst Muscovy growed ever more terrifying, we decided we've got to strike, it's now or never. So we ripped the heartlands out of Muscovy. And then they warned me and allied Ryazan and got Tver in a personal union. So I decided to stroll all the way down here and subjugate Gizimuluk and use that to carve up Georgia. However, the Ottomans really wanted these lands off of me, so I just sold it to them to keep them off my back. And I spat out Imereti because I wasn't dealing with all the nonsense down here. Thankfully, it doesn't want to revolt, so that's all very good. Sook, those lovely irregular preterite fault. Man, you're using big words there. Big words I could never hope to know. And our people are pleased, so great, the world is with me here. I need to keep a free diplomat right now though, because heavens knows that times are going to be bad. But I really need these guys carved up. The Ottomans have got to take Bessarabia, and unfortunately Bohemia is putting up a terrible defense here. They too are involved in a couple of wars. Most troublesome. I always read that as new diapers, but Lithuania have got their new draperies. So I've started this stream a little earlier than normal because I actually have some laundry to do tonight, and then once I'm done with the laundry, either I'll be playing some games definitely not on stream, or I'll be doing some more trading. How are the boyars getting on? I haven't been paying attention to my estates for some time, but I certainly don't want the boyars to rise up once more. We had that problem. I do love some admin support. But I don't quite have... You know what, the admin is going to do me some real good for a while, so I'm taking that. Also, it seems that there are extremely bad times for Lithuania right now. However, they've gotten some Orthodox zealots, so they would actually do me a favour if they went and converted or reconverted quite a chunk of this Catholic land. So get to work. Meanwhile, the Ottomans get to work at probably losing this battle, unless they get some really good rolls. That's not a really good roll. Nah, the Ottomans are down and out in that battle. Which is what I don't want to see. That would be truly terrifying if they, if it all fell down. Oh wait, whoa, what? Yeah, you get running, Hungarian scum. I swear it's just coincidence that it's the Hungarians that decided to no CB here. The siege has been going on for almost a year, and yet it's going almost nowhere. But it's Bessarabia that I need to work out here. Ryazan, sadly not one of our claims anymore, but claims are least of my concerns right now. I'm still concerned with survival. Who started the war against Hungary? That would be me. I used the best CB. That's not good. Why are there Protestants? Okay, well I guess that kind of makes sense itself, but I do not like the idea of the Protestants growing in number here. I also don't like the idea of the Hungarians rushing in, because they might take back some of these forts that... Oh wait, I was paying for that. Whoops. The Ottomans just got a new ruler, and they are an administrator? Hold on. Oh dear God. They don't want Lithuanian land anymore. And they ceded land back to me. Which means this entire war was a waste of time. They don't want the land, so they won't mind me taking stuff. Christ alive. Well, that's something. What do I do then? I mean, I could keep the war going. Check Ottoman ruler personality. If he's an administrator, he will unflag vital interest. That's right, he is an administrator, and that's why he's done it. He's also quite secretive. Well, I mean, there's really no harm to keeping this war going on. I could carve up Lithuania that bit more. But I kind of wanted to give the Ottomans some land around here to give them vested interest in Lithuania. Also, if I give them Bessarabia, they might actually want a province or two around here, which would be kind of good. I mean, I want to give them stuff. feed the Autoblob anyway. You need an end, boss. Alright, there's no need to come out of this war right now. Besides, I really kind of need the Ottomans to clean up this land. Because, I mean, these peasants taking over everything is actually giving me some trouble. We're going to finish up the Hungarian war first, then. If I give this to the Ottomans, they might suddenly find more of this to be of vital interest, and that would actually work out to my favour. And what is taking so long here? There we go. With Ragusa out, we don't need to focus on them so much, and I can go, hey, give me war reps, and they go, no way. Wow, they are gutsy. I don't know if the Ottomans still want some of that land. No, just Hungarian stuff. Well, that's good. Well, we're not scared of blasting up that aggressive expansion. We're scared of many things, though. That's just not one of them. I'm scared of those Protestant zealots marching up through this land that is rightfully mine. I mean, I'm half tempted to go and kill them, but only half. There we go, that should be Ragusa down and out. I mean, I could take more than just that, I could take all their money as well. I wouldn't get much of it, hell, I'd get about 14 ducats worth. But I want a long truce with them, because who knows how high this aggressive expansion is going to go. I don't really mind them allying Hungary, that's not an issue. Because Hungary needs to be chopped down to size anyway. So there we go, that keeps the Ottomans well fed with money so that they don't, I don't know, not help me in my time of need due to debt. That would be pretty bad. Jake, farm from prestige from Ragusa for aggressive expansion management. I mean, I could make them end their rivalry, which would get me a wee chunk of it. But then I would barely get any of the prestige because of my participation, so that's not even worth thinking about. There we go, that gets them comfortably out of this. Good. Apparently he didn't lose anything, well, so you say. Now I do need the Hungarians to actually take Bestarabia, or else I'm in a bit of a pickle. Not sure what to make of Lithuania right now, hopefully the Ottomans just go and curb stomp them. Jake, any funny countries you can release from Lithuania just for the lols? I mean, could and will are completely different situations, but we'll have a look at this. Let's not accidentally, unconditionally surrender. Just the Zapros. Sounds a little odd. I figured that there would be, you know, Chernigovians and all that to release, but what do I know? Hamburg entered into a military coalition against the Palatinate. Okay, well the Palatinate have been on a rampage, and yeah, they've been straddling aggressive expansion limits with quite a few people. Less so for the Hungarians, but the PLC certainly aren't happy with them. Go figure. Okay, Palatinate's probably going to find they've bitten off more than they can chew at this rate. The villainous province is down. And good, Bestarabia is down as well. Now the Ottomans will be kind of happy with me giving that to them. And less so if I took any war reparations for myself. And then there's this kind of stuff, which, I mean, would be great and all, but why bother? I'm just here to take that one province for the Ottomans. Maybe a little more. I mean, growing the Ottomans is no bad thing for me right now. I just hope he takes a few victorious battles, and this is what I'm looking for. Killing those degenerate Protestants. And preferably all the other rebels that are eating up Lithuania right now. Jake, I didn't think you can release countries if some of the provinces are occupied by rebels, but you would know better than me. That's quite the assumption to make, the knowing better part. So the Austrians are finally weighing down on the situation. They're going to regret doing so. Also, was those my subsidies just got cancelled? Ottomans, how could you do this to me? I liked that money. I didn't need it, but I certainly liked it. Speaking of using my money for things, I don't think I'm anywhere near getting colonialism, and it might be worth getting it before I make peace, because then it'll just get that bit more expensive. Also, the Ottomans are just coming in and curb stomping now. Jolly good. Building up that war score, driving down the enemy's war enthusiasm. But he never took that fort. I was hoping he would take some kind of fort. Burgundy's renting out to fight us. Me feeding these guys may well work against us here. But that's the long term, and I'm thinking very short term right now. Jake, colonialism in Livonia in order. I mean, sure, I could go and seek that out. I wonder if they got it. I guess it's just been spreading along the coast like wildfire. But still, there's a few things I'm considering here. And one is that this land is going to be rebellious and autonomy-ridden. I could probably think long and hard about developing this land like crazy. It's not like there are incredibly important techs around the corner. And my Rostov idea does reduce development costs, so there's an idea to be had there. Never took any of my religious stuff. I have no intention of going down a religious path, I just took it because it tends to have good events associated with it. And with that said, I got a stab hit shortly after taking the ideas, so maybe it's not all sunshine and green grass. Jake, how close to 50% occupied by rebels of Lithuania? Let them break apart. These are not rebels that are going to make them break apart. Protestants, peasants, nobility. Okay, there are some Crimeans, but I'd rather the Ottomans just chewed them out. And, oh, I'd really like it if they took down Pest. Okay, instead they'll get double disease on Pest. To be expected, though, we are talking about Hungarians, the most disgustingly diseased people in Europe. I'm helping. That said, I could actually help by going and sieging down some of this land, because apparently I want it. And the more that I contribute, the happier the Ottomans are going to be at the very thought of me giving them land. And this should all have recent revolt stuff on it, so that's also good. Yeah, you're a good guy. Go and take that down. And don't get slaughtered yourself, because that would be embarrassing. These Orthodox rebels are doing me a favour, probably. Was this Orthodox before? Nope, it just became Orthodox, so this is great news for me. It's a direction that I can expand into quite happily. Jake, loot for Dosh. It would also cause devastation that I'm not so keen on doing right now. And I mean, it's not a lot of dosh. I would have to keep a fort active just to undo the devastation, so there are considerations to be had there. Muscovy, obviously hating me and the Ottomans, is paying off the debt of our enemies. Disgusting activity, I know. This is kind of good that we got attacked here, because relieving a failed relief of a siege causes the siege to progress. He says. A little unsure of that, but still, that's Hungary bleeding pretty hard. Could I interest you in more land there, Ottomans, though? I mean, if the Ottomans would just occupy something here, I could give them that bit more. And I am looking to farm a few favours with them, because I need that pretty badly. So here's hoping that they actually do. In fact, if I tell the Ottomans to work on that, maybe they will. Alternatively, I could send down a few soldiers myself, hoping that they don't get caught, and then transferring it over. This is where their ruler now dies, and they get a militarist, and then I'm scuppered. Here's hoping not, though. My prestige is so damn bad, though. Maybe I can recover it at some point. Diplopower and unhappy burghers. I actually need my burghers to be very not unhappy right now. For once I'm going to take the mercantilism hit. And mercantilism is not helping us much right now. Famous last words, but that's how I see it. I walk a dangerous path here, but I got to. Alright, good. The Ottomans are taking a piece of land or two. Maybe I could convince them to take Vasuki as well. Saves me a bit of a round trip. Okay, diplomat's dead. I kind of needed him to get rid of better, or boost up better relations over time. But I see this guy, and I think I really want him. Following any war, your diplomatic reputation takes a real tank. And I would be very scared of the Ottomans leaving me. Very, very scared. So I'm gonna have him just to try and keep the Ottos by my side. It's not a good idea putting all these eggs in one basket, but I gotta try. Also, it looks like these guys are gonna snipe me, so I need them to go away for a bit. Diplomat in Poland, because they have no other choice. And here we go, Polotsk separatists, but their days are numbered, and that number is pretty low. Jake battles give prestige, unlike hiding behind others. Shh, no one needs to know that. Something about Golden Horde separatists. Also, that fort fell down pretty fast.